left of Pei Dalet, page 84. I'd like to do the second paragraph we left off at that. Okay. I mean, the Mesil Shem was speaking about a person should seal his mouth, should take control of his inclination of anger, and not express the anger. But Hillel, he says, was even beyond that. Midosah shel Hillel hazokin ola al kol elo. He surpassed all these other levels. Shekvar lo yamakbid al shum dover. He was not makbid. He says he wasn't offended over anything. Afilos oris shel kaslo nasebo. He did not even have his oros, stirring of anger. Zavadi anokim nakas b'kol b'kol. It was irrelevant to him. The Gemara tells over the story with the person. These two people had a wager that $400 wager that they could get Hillel angry. Hillel was the Nasi, was the prince. Erev Shabbos, Hillel just came back from the bathhouse. This person, Hillel was the Nasi already. And he calls out from downstairs to the women, Hillel, Hillel, just wait first. And he asks nonsensical questions. Literally, why do the Africans have round heads? Why do they have wide feet, like webbed feet? Well, nonsense. And Hillel says, yes, my child, what do you want? And he answered every question with, as much as he disturbed him, and he didn't display any level of even being put upon. And he lost the wager. It was Erev Shabbos. And then afterwards, the person becomes livid at Hillel. He says, you cost me $400. He said, why? He says, I had a wager. I was able to get you angry. I wasn't able to. He says, better you should lose $400 than I should become angry. That's what Hillel said. He was nucky. He was not at all fazed whatsoever by whatever inconvenience being put upon. Nothing affected him. He was totally nucky. Good.
With respect to all these attributes, Hashem placed these elements into man, but man has to use it in the appropriate context. So there is a place for anger. And we see that in the Torah. For instance, Hashem himself becomes angry at certain things. The Torah is very explicit about that. And we also see that Pinchas, he was...
Doesn't say he was angry. Doesn't say he was angry. He was a zealot.
You wouldn't call that anger? He was
No.
hot.
Put it this way.
And that's an
Wait.
appropriate use of anger.
Wait. We want to discuss it. What is the root of anger? What is the root of anger? Ego. That's the root of anger. Hillel was, as I mentioned yesterday, one Sanhedrin, that if the Torah wouldn't have been given through Moshe, Hillel was humble enough, the Torah should be given through him. Gemara says also Shmuel HaKoton. So Shmuel HaKoton, of course, he totally minimized himself, negated himself. So if you have Moshe Rabbeinu, he got angry twice, and was in Salma Halacha. He forgot the Halacha, meaning it was the wrong thing for him to get angry, right? When he struck the rock, it was due to anger, because he felt that people they didn't speak appropriately. And the time they came back and they took the spoils, they allowed the women to live where they should have been killed, the women above the age of 3 years old. After the story with the Bnos Moab, they cohabited Balpor. So it was in Salman Halacha. Allah had to tell over the laws of purging vessels, all that, because he forgot. So the question is over there. Evidently was inappropriate. He shouldn't have become angry. And Moshe had no ego, right? He was. Doesn't say he became angry. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk. So anger is something you cannot tolerate something. Because you can't tolerate something, therefore what it evokes is anger, right? That's what it is. So what about if you can't tolerate because it's the most extreme level of Chil Hashem? Right? Now I'm just saying what David said. It should evoke anger. Anger is something, it's a level of pain that you cannot tolerate. The question of why can't you tolerate it? So most situations it's because the person himself, it's based on his own ego. But if it's purely based on, it's such a level of disgrace of Hashem, seemingly it would be okay. It would be okay. Right? Because the Rambam, and this Rambam I learned with David many, many years ago, and the Rambam says that there's certain times you're permitted to get angry, but don't do it too often, because if you do, you'll become conditioned to become angry for things of lesser importance. You're permitted to become angry for things of greater importance, but don't allow it to happen too often, because then you'll become conditioned to become angry, and you become angry even for things of lesser importance. We're talking about something which you're permitted to become angry for, but it doesn't warrant if it's of lesser importance, because you're able to address it without becoming angry. So from the Rambam, it seems to be it's okay to become angry for something of greater importance, because again, it's not. What is it rooted in? It's not rooted in your ego. It's rooted in the issue, what's happening at that moment.
Also, Hashem is described as being angry at certain things.
No, the concept of anger is an emotion. God has no emotion. So Rashi always says it's only for us to be able to relate to what's happening at the moment. It means God is not willing to tolerate it.
Okay, so there is a place.
Okay? And Mashgiach, is known. People who are what the Kelm, they're tremendous. The training at Kelm by Rav Simcha Zissel, who was the primary student of Rav Yisrael Salanter, they were able to be trained and conditioned that they had full control over their emotion. Full. And Mashgiach, he would sit in the base manager by a door that literally, when that door would slam, the walls, the building would shake. Where he would sit, he would not lift his head, not lift his eyes, ever. That's the kind of control he had over himself. He never learned in Kelm, but his Rebbe learned in Kelm. Levenstein, learned in Kelm. So there was a time where one student would come. If you got bawled out by him, you were out of it for about a week. If he spoke to you, he reprimanded a student. That student remembered it for the whole year. But in terms of being affected, it took about a week to get back to yourself. He could speak to one student that way. Next bocha comes, smiling, soft, warmed him. And as the Rambam says, when you get angry, it should be lefonim. It should only be facial. It should be superficial. It should not be your emotion. Because what are you becoming angry? It's only to display anger. The Gemara says in Shabbos, Kol hakois kilo avodah zarah. And yet it says that a person to set down the law in one's home, you're permitted to become angry. So the Gemara asks, but it says when one becomes angry, it's like you're doing idolatry. So the Gemara answers funny. It's only facial, and the Gemara tells over a story that there was an Tana. He would take broken vessels, broken earthenware vessels, and when he would want to set down the law inside, he would smash the vessels. So because the vessels were broken, it was an act. That's all it was. Or he'd take the lid of a wooden barrel, he'd smash the lid, which had no value. Had no value, so it wasn't a question of being wasteful. So again, if you're able to do it lefonim, but factually, if a person really, it's a chil Hashem, maybe then you should. If you read the story about Shmuel, the way he killed Agag, it doesn't say he became angry. It says he took the sword and he cut him horizontally and vertically into 4 pieces. It doesn't say Vayichar, he became angry. He did a mitzvah. The mitzvah was Mechis Amalek, to annihilate Amalek. That's what he did. And I just would like to start the next paragraph in this way. Even for a Dvar Mitzvah, we're forewarned, so you should not become angry. A teacher to a student, a father who has to discipline his son. Doesn't mean you shouldn't discipline him. You should discipline him. You should discipline him but without anger. Only to set him upon a straight path. It should be facial, but it should not be your emotion. You should not bewilder or overwhelm your spirit with anger. Anger is in the lap, in the bosom of fools. V'omer ki le'evil yiharuk koas. For the fool is killed by anger. So it's famous Gemara we had. Right, you're able to tell a person three behavior. The way he drinks, the way he spends money, and the way he gets angry. To be continued.